All right. So thank you for joining us for the talk called All About Web in Play. My name is Prashant. I'm a technical solution consultant with Google. And in this talk, I will be co-presenting with Ankit Jain, who is an engineering manager at Toyo. We will talk about Web in Play, which is about wrapping the websites using trusted web activities into an APK, which can be eventually deployed in application stores like Google Play. This is what the today's agenda looks like. Uh, we will talk about TWA. We will cover various use cases. We will talk about prerequisites, tools, and supportability. We will cover the concept of digital asset link in detail, followed by a demonstration. And then Ankit will be talking about OYO's Lite's journey, experience, and stats. OYO Lite is a trusted web activity. It's a lighter version of their native application. So let's talk about trusted web activity. So the next couple of slides, this slide and the next slide might be a bit repetitive for the folks who have joined us for the previous session. But for the benefit of everyone, let me quickly cover these two slides again. So basically, trusted web activity is nothing but it's a special Android activity which is based on a protocol uh, which is based on Chrome custom tabs. It is used for launching a full screen browser tab without any browser UI, and we can use it to launch a web code into full screen. And uh, we recommend that the web code should be having service workers and other native capabilities like offline user experience, push, and the relevant Fugu APIs implemented so that it can give a very native like user experience. So this is what Web in Play is. We take the PWA code, we wrap it as an APK using trusted web activities. We deploy it in Play Store, and the user can simply download it like any other application, and the activity will run in a full screen, which will give a native look and feel and native user experience. Some of the use cases of TWA are like we can implement a TWA with full feature parity, meaning we can implement everything which has been implemented in our native application, assuming that we already have a native application. So the benefit of this approach would be we would be writing an experience which would be multi-folds lighter on an average than the native counterpart. So the APK will be much lesser. In most of the cases, it will be weighing lesser than 1 MB, and that can be released on stores like Google Play Store. Also, we can implement partial user flows. So there can be use cases where a developer may want to build certain screens which would be consuming the web code. So one example could be say there is a product listing page or a product description page, right? And say just imagine that the content of the page and the layout of the page is changing very frequently. Say there are offers running, and overall the layout of the page is changing very frequently. So that is something which is very tricky to maintain in a native application because we won't be able to update the native application very frequently. Now this can be achieved using TWA. So just that section we will wrap using trusted web activity. And when the user comes to that screen, TWA will be launched inside your native application, and that can be used for rendering that dynamic section. Another use case could be to build checkout flows. So say you started with a website and then you are launching a native application. So you need not reinvent the wheel by writing another checkout flow. You can simply leverage what you have on web using trusted web activity. So these are the prerequisites and tools. You may want to use Android Studio for changing the code, modifying the code. Uh, you may want to use a tool called Bubble Wrap. It's a command line utility which can be used for generating the code and generating the APK and the asset link. You may want to use Android phone or emulator, obviously, for testing. TWAs are supported on Chrome version 72 or later. So you would you may want to use a appropriate Chrome version. And obviously, you would need a website which you would want to release as a trusted web activity. And lastly, you will be needing something called digital asset link between the TWA and the website. We will be covering these in detail in the following slides. So this is what digital asset link is. So it basically declares trust between the Android application and the website. It certifies that the website and the application is coming from the same developer. Because in trusted web activity, the cookies will be shared with the website, right? Because it is coming from the same domain. So the digital asset link is required to be established in order for that to happen. And the screenshot on the right, that shows a sample asset link. So what we do is that we take the certificate of the native application, and then we do a SHA-256 digest of that certificate, and we get a fingerprint like this long alphanumeric string. And this is something we bundle as a JSON, like the one I'm showing here. We mention the package name of the application, and then we deploy it in a directory called .wellknown on the given domain. So let's say the domain is example.com. So it will be deployed on example.com/.wellknown. And then we will be opening a page from example.com as an entry point to the TWA. So this is required. Otherwise, the URL bar which appears in the Chrome custom tab, that would be coming on the TWA, and it won't be full screen. Now let us check out a demo of Bubble Wrap. So we will be using a website, a sample website, which we have already written, and then we will be wrapping it as a TWA. We will be generating a signed APK, which can be deployed into Google Play. And also we will be generating the asset link, which can be deployed on the website to establish the trust between the native application and the web application. So here I'm starting with the empty directory, and then I'm using a curl command simply to show the manifest of the website. Manifest has details like the application's name, the start URL. The start URL will be the entry point in the trusted web activity. And then it has details about theming, the icons and the background colors and things like that. Now, thereafter, we will be issuing a command called bubble wrap init, and we will be passing on the manifest of the PWA. In this demo, I'm using the default options, the default name, the default background color, default entry point. And since I do not have a signing key with me, Android key store with me, I'm generating it here for the demo purpose. If you have one, you can simply point to that Android key store. And the same key store will be used for signing the keys in the later steps. So now it has generated the source code of the trusted web activity with all the options, all the default options which we have selected. We can simply do ls and see that the source code is now there in that directory. We will simply use a command called bubble wrap build this will build that source code. Here I am using a command line option called skip PWA validation. So this will skip the running of Lighthouse. Otherwise, even Lighthouse will be running and it will compute the Lighthouse scores of the website. You are encouraged to not use this command line option. Here I am passing the key store password, and the APK is generated, the asset link is generated. The, the APK can be deployed in the Play Store, and the asset link can be published on the .well-known directory of the website. So with that, I will pass on the mic to Ankit Jain, who is an engineering manager at OYO, to talk about OYO's Lite journey, experience, and stats. Over to you, Ankit.
Thanks, Prashant, for very good introduction of TWA and setting up a baseline for this talk. Hi everyone, my name is Ankit Jain and I am going to talk about how we at OYO leverage TWA and build a super light version of native app which doesn't need a high maintenance. Let's see OYO Lite in action. It is available on Play Store and its size is 870 KB, which is just 7% of our native app, but its conversion is similar to our native app and 3 times higher than MWeb. Generally speaking, till now, light apps were used to be feature trimmed and higher latency alternative to native main apps, but that is not the case anymore. TWA apps have feature parity and have an edge over native apps, which I'll share in a couple of minutes. Let me briefly share what TWA is. Trusted Web Activities are a new way to integrate your web app content with your Android app using a protocol based on custom tabs. Although Android apps routinely include web content using a Chrome custom tab with URL bar or WebView, but a TWA runs your app full screen in the default browser installed in your user's device and hence can leverage the features and performance optimizations of the browser. Since TWA opens up the app in browser, it shares the browser data like cookies and local storage inside app. So if your user is logged in inside a browser, then he will automatically be logged in inside TWA app as well. Let me briefly tell you the history of WebView and Chrome custom tabs and why TWA should be used instead of these. We can open a web app inside a WebView as well, but here are the problems which we face. First one is web views are slow compared to custom tabs or browser as they don't have latest performance optimizations which a browser offers. Browser shares the data like cookies with custom tabs, but not with web views. And we need to write good enough code to pass cookies to WebView in your Android native code. There are APIs like WebShare by which you can share your favorite hotel to your friends on WhatsApp, Facebook, etc. This is provided by default by browsers like Chrome, but not in WebView implementation. Similarly, if your web app has a call button, then you want that by clicking that button, your phone calling app should be invoked, but that is not possible with WebViews. Last but not the least, the browser uses Google's safe browsing to protect the user and device from dangerous sites, which will lack in WebViews again. Let me talk about the problems with using Chrome custom tabs alone. All of the WebViews problems are handled by custom tabs, but it comes with a URL bar. Trusted Web Activity, which is built on custom tabs along with web asset linking, which Prashant has explained, solves all of these problems. So you might be guessing that TWA is solving everything. But let me stop you there, because since TWA are only supported by Chrome 72 or above, we need to put a fallback to WebView in case it is not supported. Trusted Web Utils library has a method which can be used to check if Chrome browser installed in your user's device support TWA or not. In case it is not supported, we can always fall back to WebView. Instead of showing a custom tab with a URL bar. Generally speaking, the native app has a better conversion rate, better repeat rate, and more loyal user base than the web app, but it has some drawbacks also. Let's first see the similarities. So the very basic similarity is, who likes to open browser, click on URL bar, type the exact URL of your website to experience what you are offering. If we can give a shortcut to bypass all these steps, surely that would be very good user experience. Since TWA app will be treated similar to any other app in the Android system, it will also have a launcher icon. We can achieve this launcher icon by adding to home screen our PWA app as well. So on the similar lines, TWA app will also be available at the tap of a button. We can also integrate Android shortcuts here to directly land users to frequently visited pages on your web app. As you can see in the GIF provided here, that users can directly go to their shortlisted hotels page. These were the functionalities available for native apps, but not for web apps. Now they are available with the help of TWA. Native apps make use of the caching heavily, and that's how they always have something to show even when you are offline. Example, you are browsing something and you enter into a lift. Then your network fluctuates and you are offline. With the help of service worker caching, the TWA app will work in offline mode also, and we can cache previous API call responses to give the enhanced offline experience. Nobody wants to play with dinosaur anymore. As you can see in the left screenshot, when user's network is offline, they will see the dinosaur, which gives the feeling of web. Although it should be handled in web as well, by service worker caching, users will see the page shown in right screenshot. It could be a static page or any other page depending upon your application logic. But definitely it will give user a feeling that I am not in the web application anymore. Native apps come with all the assets bundled in them. That is the primary reason why they only need to make an API call to render a page. Web apps also can cache its assets like JS, CSS, etc. in the browser for service worker caching, and from second visit onwards, TWA will need only API calls just like the native apps. In general, web apps TTI, time to interactive, should be around 5 seconds for a great loading experience. Any of your domain links can be opened in your TWA app by digital assets links pairing and an intent filter in your Android manifest file, which we will talk about in a couple of minutes. As you can see in the GIF, if you share your favorite hotel to your friend on WhatsApp, then they can directly open that hotel inside your TWA app without going through the trouble of choosing between multiple apps. In the dialog box where Android system asks which app do you want to use to open this link, like browser, app A, app B. That is not the case anymore. If you have the digital assets links pairing, then your TWA app directly opens this page, as you can see here. Nobody will like an app which shows URL bar just like browser. TWA apps can also run full screen with the help of digital asset links verification. The app and the site it opens are expected to come from the same developer. As you can see, there is a URL bar on top in left screenshot, which is a norm for web, but not for apps. By digital asset linking, it can be removed and your web app will run in full screen mode as shown in the right screenshot. So we have talked about the similarities between the native app and the TWA apps. As I promised earlier, we will talk about why TWA apps have an edge over native apps. Here is why. So imagine a scenario where if a buggy code is shipped in a native app, then you can't do anything but wait for your users to update the app. This is not the case with TWA apps since they are just a web app wrapped inside an app. So the code can be updated anytime just like the web. There is no need of waiting for adoption to resolve that bug completely. Another problem is backward compatibility. So backward compatibility is a huge problem in native apps. Once a app starts understanding an API in a certain format, we can't change that and hence need to support many versions of apps to keep it backward compatible. Excuse me. The backend will need to support many versions of API to keep it backward compatible. There are no version checks in APIs built for our TWA apps as they all will be running the same code similar to a web app. Since native apps ship with all the machinery needed to run, their size usually reaches a few MBs. TWA apps internally run a browser which is already installed in your user's device and request for a web page. So no code is shipped with the APK and hence whole app size gets reduced to few hundred KBs. Did I mention our TWA is only 870 KB? In conclusion, TWA app is giving us the best of both worlds, isn't it? Now, let me talk about how can you convert your web app to a TWA app. There are currently no qualification for content opened in the preview of trusted web activities. It means any web app can be used to build TWA app, but users won't like your app if it is showing URL bar inside an app, or if your application is displaying not connected to internet message when offline. If it takes too much time to load or transition between pages are not smooth like a native app, then users will not feel or users will not have a feeling that it is a true app. So to make a decent TWA app, bare minimum qualifications should be the first, your app should work in offline mode as well to give your web app a feel of native app, as we have talked earlier. Next is, it should not have a URL bar. For that, you need to set up digital assets links. And obviously, it should be fast enough. In a nutshell, if your web app is already a progressive web app, in short PWA, with a good score on Lighthouse, then you just have to set up digital assets link and you are good to go. Yeah. Let's see how or what all it will take to build a very basic TWA out of your current web app. So this is the code of Android manifest file. So in order to generate a basic TWA app, we created an Android manifest file containing the default URL. In our case, that would be www.oirums.com and intent filters to define that this activity is the launcher activity, and another intent filter that says that this app can handle ORUM's URL. So in the code, you can see that this is an activity code, and here we have defined the default URL as www.overrooms.com. This means whenever you launch your TW app, it will go to your homepage. This part of the code is is saying to the Android system that this is our launcher activity. This part of the code is handling all the deep links. So I in few slides back, I showed a WhatsApp URL is getting opened in TW app directly. So this is the code by which it is happening. Here we have we, we have allowed the trusted web activity to handle intents to open overrooms.com. So after putting this code into the Android manifest file, we just need to put a launcher icon in a pretty standard way. After this, our app is ready to launch in the Play Store. There is a but here. If you only do this, then your app will work, no issues there. But there is another problem which we haven't talked about. There will be a long white screen between launching your app and getting anything on the screen. This is the time when the browser is getting initialized and your web app is getting the HTML document from your origin server. We can't avoid it completely, but can serve something which user is familiar with, that is a splash screen. A splash screen is the screen that generally every native app shows till it loads so that users can know that the app is starting up. So you might ask whether it is natively supported by TWA. The answer is yes. Starting on Chrome 75, Trusted Web Activities have support for splash screens, and we just have to provide the background URL and an image. This will be sufficient, but it won't suffice for all users, as some of our users would be using browsers other than Chrome, and TWS are only supported by Chrome. So splash screen support is out of the questions on browsers other than Chrome. All users won't be having the Chrome tab. The other problem which we have to handle is all users won't be having the Chrome 75 or newer versions. So we at Oyo went with the splash screen provided by TWA and also wrote our own custom splash activity, which handled these use cases. First, we created another activity and made it launcher. This is the same Android manifest file which I showed earlier. Here, some extra code is written. So we have created another activity and made it launcher, which means this activity will be started on clicking the app icon. So here you can see, we have created a splash activity and we have put the name as the same. We have made this a launcher activity by this code. This is the same code which is used for deep linking. And this is the another activity which we were talking about earlier, the trusted launcher activity. Now this is not the launcher anymore. This is not handling the intents for web links. Now splash activity is handling those. We have to provide some metadata to trusted launcher activity though, because remember TWS supports splash screens by default. And in order to support that splash screen, we need to provide color, background image, and many things. So these are those data. This is the color. This is the image which we want to show on a splash. This is the splash screen fade out durations and other things. Now we have created a splash activity. But what should we put in that splash activity? So now the newly created splash activity should do the following tasks. First, it should check if the splash screen is supported or not. That is pretty obvious. This can be achieved by comparing the installed Chrome version in your user's user's device with the Chrome 75 version. There can be two outputs of it. If the splash screen is supported, then just launch the trusted launcher activity with the URL, and TWA will handle the splash screen. We have already provided the metadata in the Android manifest file. The second outcome would be, if splash screen is not supported, then show the custom splash screen layout for some time. Somewhere around 400 ms seems decent to us, and then launch the trusted launcher activity. In this way, users having old or newer Chrome versions will get the splash screen, although the handling of splash by TWA is much better than custom handling. As in the letter, we are putting a delay, a custom delay, a synthetic delay in launching the activity, whereas TWA shows the splash screen till the page is rendered behind the scenes and then fades out, which gives a very nice experience. Let me show you the splash screen again. Take a look at it. So there is no white screen. Here, TWA supported splash screen is used, and please note that it waits till we get the HTML document on the splash screen, so that users never see the white screen between launching your app and getting anything rendered. Let's talk numbers, which Oolite has given to us. First, the conversion rate. So Oolite's conversion is 3x of our PWA or MWeb. Users are really liking it, or users are treating it as a full-fledged app. The logged in percentage has also improved by 300% compared to our PWA. Realization is something that how many users have already, should I say, how many users have booked our hotel and how many have really went and stayed there. This realization has also improved by 50% compared to our PWA, which means realization is one thing which clearly shows that users coming to our TWA are more loyal than users who are coming to our MWeb or PWA, as users coming to our MWeb are more exploratory in nature. Oolite has Android shortcuts and app install tracking as well, and we don't see anything major missing compared to our native app in Oolite. So basically, what TWA has done is nothing but bridging the gap between web and Play Store. There are other features which are new to web. So let me talk about few of those features. The number one is SMS retriever. As you can see here, earlier SMS retriever was a capability which was given only to native apps. This is not the case anymore. As you can see in the GIF, now SMS can be auto-read and filled in your app. Here app means your web app, and can be auto-submitted. Users now don't need to go to the SMS app, memorize the OTP and fill it here. This has given us a very high login percentage. So if we start using SMS retriever, which is available for web apps, not necessarily TWA, then the bridge between native app and the TWF will be much thinner. Apart from SMS retriever, contact access is also coming to web, which will really help in features like referral or share. There are other features like file access, Bluetooth, background fetch, flash sync are also coming to web, which will really help on the use cases which were till now not possible for web apps. and then all those features can be used for TWS. So as you can guess now, the gap between a native app and a web app is very thin now, and TWA apps do have an edge over native apps. That's it from my side. It was Ankit Jain. Thank you for listening. Stay safe, be kind to each other. Have a good weekend. Thanks.